Okay, in this video we're going to go over grain, dust, flicker, all that, all the physical effects for film emulation. So I've already opened up Kdenlive, changed my project settings, and imported all of my assets I need. This is the step 3 video from the last video we did. Um, these are the overlays we'll be using. I will have links to download all of these for free in the video description, as well as some links to the best paid film grain overlays I think there are. Before we go over the overlays, I did want to kind of show you a feature that's already in Kdenlive that works somewhat okay. I just don't like the controls. It's called the film grain effect. And if we put it over here, you can see it has grain, blur, dust, and flicker, which are, and I mean, it does a halfway decent job, but it doesn't seem to matter what I do to adjust these. I can never get them where I want. It seems like no matter how much I turn the flicker down, it's always at the same amount. So I don't know if it's because of the size of the video I'm using or the resolution or what the issue is. Maybe it's because this has to be changed whenever they go to 10-bit, but I mean, this is almost perfect. It just doesn't quite have everything I need in it. So, not to mention that if you want really good film grain, I mean, even professionals are going to use a scanned overlay of an actual film grain. So, this is good for just really quick stuff, but I want to show you how to use the actual film grain overlays. Now, the amount of grain, dust, and flicker, it all depends on what size of film you're trying to emulate. So, the larger the film stock, the smaller the grain. So 70 millimeter is going to be almost not noticeable at all. 35 is somewhat noticeable. 16 is definitely noticeable, and 8 millimeter is very noticeable. So I put a few different versions in here for you to try out. I mean, even within each film stock, depending on the speed of it, say 50 ISO versus 150 versus 500. The faster the film is, the more grain it has. So you kind of have to, again, always research what it is you're trying to emulate, and then you can adjust digitally the way you want it to look to get there. So I put a few, and these are just some quick. These are not professional or the best, but they're a little better than the built-in features. So the other thing is the dust. I have light, heavy, and medium dust, and that's not only going to depend on your film size, but just your personal preference. I only have one flicker, and it's kind of subtle, and that's all I wanted. If you wanted a heavier flicker, you can do it with the effect here pretty easily. What I've also done here is made what I call a combo, and I've combined dirt, flicker, and grain. So we're going to use a combo, but I'm also going to show you how to overlay multiple to get the exact effect you want. So if we were going to do a 16 millimeter emulation just to show you the combination one, it's really easy because all you do is drag it over here, over the top of your clip, shrink it down where you need it, or multiply it depending. Then go to composition, overlay, and drag that over. You're going to have to make that, the width of the entire clip. And then you also have to make sure that this is set to V1 and not automatic. Now, if the grain looks the way you want, fine. If not, you may have to go to a stronger grain, but this is just a quick look. So if you're wanting to do a quick look that has the dirt grain and the flicker built in, I just have 3, an 8, a 16, and a 35, and they're just very basic, but it's easier to render because you only have one overlay. Now, me personally, I prefer more grain, and this is not quite exactly what I wanted anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this out of here, and then we're going to go back, and I want to find a rougher looking grain. Let's see if that works. See if it's more visible. And I actually want something a little grittier, so I'm going to actually go ahead and put an 8mm grain in here just to get that gritty look I'm looking for. So you can see it's a little bit grittier now. And we'll shrink this down. Now, since we're doing the separated clips, what I'm going to have to do is insert a track here. But since there's also a blank audio track on this, we're going to have to add, you always have to add an audio track under that, under the last one to be able to add the clip in. Make sure it's under it. Alright, and so I'm going to put heavy dust because this is kind of dark, and I don't know if it'll be quite visible, but I want to just put a heavy dust on this. So you just drop it over, shrink it down, and then the easiest thing to do with this is to right click and copy and then paste. You're going to be using the same exact composition anyway, but we're going to change it to V1. What that means is it's overlaying specifically over the video 1 track. Now I also want to add my flicker layers, so I'm going to put that again above this one, and I have to add the audio track in again like as before. Now I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to find the flicker, which it's literally just changing the brightness slightly. There's nothing else it's doing, so we're going to overlay that. Exact same as before. Shrink it down. Duplicate the composition. Change it to video track 1. And now that's done. Now we have all three effects here. We have flicker, dust, and grain. And since they're overlays, it doesn't really matter in what order they are, just however you want to put them in there. Separated out like this, you can adjust each one to whichever you like, you know, low, medium, high, since it doesn't have this built in exactly. Now, I will recommend a company called Holygrain. I don't have any affiliations with anyone I'm putting on here, but Holygrain offers a free download pack, but they have the best overlays for grain that I've found, because they have dust, dirt, flicker, grain, and all kinds of levels. They're the best, and they have them all the way up into 8K resolution, I believe. Now we're going to go ahead and render this just because it makes it easier for the next video. I may make a video showing you how you can do all of the effects all together. It takes a lot longer to render, but it is possible, so I'll show you how to do that in another video. But we're going to go ahead and render this one. And this is what we've got. As you can see, you definitely have the grain in there, and the dust and all that's more apparent when the video's actually running, but you'll be able to see that because you'll be able to download it. I'll have a link for that. But that's it for this video. Please like and subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.